Have you ever tried to run away from your responsibilities? Imagine if those responsibilities came from God Himself. This is the story of Jonah, a prophet who thought he could outrun divine command. Our tale begins in ancient Israel, around 760 BC. Jonah, a Hebrew prophet, receives a clear message from God. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. Nineveh, the capital of Assyria, was known for its cruelty and was an enemy of Israel. Jonah, filled with fear and prejudice, decides to flee in the opposite direction. Instead of heading east to Nineveh, Jonah boards a ship bound for Tarshish, a city far to the west. He's hoping to escape God's presence and avoid his divine mission. But can anyone truly hide from the Almighty? As the ship sails across the Mediterranean, God sends a violent storm. The waves crash against the vessel, threatening to tear it apart. The sailors, fearing for their lives, cry out to their gods and throw cargo overboard to lighten the ship. Meanwhile, Jonah is fast asleep in the hold, oblivious to the chaos above. The captain finds Jonah and wakes him, saying, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us so that we will not perish." The sailors, desperate to know why this disaster has struck, cast lots to determine who's responsible. The lot falls on Jonah. Pressed for answers, Jonah confesses, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." He admits that he's running from God and tells them to throw him overboard to calm the storm. The sailors, reluctant to kill an innocent man, try rowing harder to reach land, but the sea grows even wilder. Finally, they cry out to God, "Please, Lord, do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing an innocent man, for you, Lord, have done as you pleased." Then they throw Jonah into the raging sea. Immediately, the storm stops. The sailors, amazed by this divine intervention, offer sacrifices to God and make vows to serve him. But what about Jonah? Has God abandoned him to the depths? Far from it. God provides a great fish, often referred to as a whale, to swallow Jonah whole. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah remains in the belly of this massive creature. Can you imagine the darkness, the stench, the utter hopelessness of his situation? Yet, in this unlikely place, Jonah has a change of heart. He prays to God, saying, "In my distress, I called to the Lord, and he answered me. From deep in the realm of the dead, I called for help, and you listened to my cry." Jonah acknowledges God's sovereignty and promises to fulfill his vows. Hearing Jonah's prayer, God commands the fish to vomit Jonah onto dry land. Jonah emerges, likely smelling of fish and seaweed, but alive and with a renewed sense of purpose. God speaks to Jonah a second time, repeating his command to go to Nineveh. This time, Jonah obeys. He travels to the great city, which is so large it takes 3 days to walk across. Jonah begins to preach, proclaiming, 40 more days, and Nineveh will be overthrown." Surprisingly, the people of Nineveh believe Jonah's message. They declare a fast, and everyone, from the greatest to the least, puts on sackcloth as a sign of repentance. Even the king of Nineveh rises from his throne, takes off his royal robes, covers himself with sackcloth, and sits in the dust. The king issues a proclamation. Let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and their violence. Who knows? God may yet relent and with compassion turn from his fierce anger so that we will not perish. God sees the genuine repentance of the Ninevites and has compassion on them. He doesn't bring the destruction he had threatened. This turn of events, however, greatly displeases Jonah. He becomes angry, feeling that his warnings have been in vain. Jonah prays to God, saying, "Isn't this what I said, Lord, when I was still at home? That is what I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity." Jonah goes outside the city and makes a shelter, waiting to see what will happen. God provides a plant to grow over Jonah, giving him shade and comfort. Jonah is very happy about the plant. But the next day, God sends a worm to chew the plant so that it withers. When the sun rises, God sends a scorching east wind, and the sun blazes on Jonah's head so that he grows faint and wishes to die. God asks Jonah, "Is it right for you to be angry about the plant?" Jonah replies that it is, and that he's angry enough to die. Then God delivers the final lesson. You have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend it or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals? The story of Jonah teaches us powerful lessons about God's mercy, the futility of running from our responsibilities, and the importance of compassion for all people. It reminds us that God's love extends beyond our own prejudices and expectations. Jonah's journey from reluctant prophet to instrument of mass repentance showcases God's patience and willingness to use imperfect vessels for his perfect will. It challenges us to examine our own biases and to be open to God's plans, even when they seem difficult or go against our personal desires. In the end, the story of Jonah and the whale isn't just about a man being swallowed by a fish. It's about being swallowed by God's mercy and spat out into a world desperately in need of that same compassion. It's a call to each of us to embrace our divine assignments, to see beyond our limited perspectives, and to rejoice in God's boundless love for all his creation.